In the bustling streets of London suburbs, Texas border towns, and Swedish urban enclaves, female Muslim immigrants and their children cast smiles at white men that carry a chilling secret. These are not expressions of admiration for Western prosperity or gratitude for open borders. Instead, they signal deep-seated resentment and satisfaction at the sight of white men marching toward conquest and annihilation, shackled by the delusional nonsense of their own white wives and female kin. Since the migration surge began in 2015, over 5 million people from Muslim-majority regions have settled in Europe, while the United States has welcomed more than 1 million annually from places like Pakistan and Afghanistan. Within these immigrant families, women articulate a clear consensus. White men are not merely weak, but catastrophically stupid and naive, blindly obeying the self-destructive ideals of white women who preach endless hospitality to invaders, undocumented entrants, and illegals. This article explores how these perceptions fuel a triumphant certainty of takeover, where every smile whispers, "Your women lead you to the grave, our men will bury you." The roots of this disdain run deeper than surface-level weakness, embedding themselves in a profound resentment for the intellectual bankruptcy of white host societies. Female immigrants, arriving with hijabs and young children in tow, observe Western policies not as enlightened progress, but as laughable suicide pacts orchestrated by naive white females. In focus groups conducted in 2023 across UK Pakistani communities, women repeatedly described immigration laws as stupid white gifts to their enemies, directly blaming white men's obedience to wives' calls for diversity and refugee rights. This goes beyond seeing white men as physically feeble. It paints them as evolutionary dead ends, too idiotic to recognize how their women's delusional visions of multicultural harmony invite demographic replacement. Historical patterns from the Ottoman infiltration of Byzantium in the 14th century mirror this. Migrant women there mocked native men for following female-led appeasement, paving the way for violent overthrow. Today, in 2024, the same dynamic unfolds as white couples champion open borders, unaware that their hospitality funds the very forces plotting their erasure. When these women and their children lock eyes with white men and smile, the gesture encodes a sadistic satisfaction rooted in this layered contempt. It's not respect for white achievements, far from it. The smile says, "We see you as the stupid fool your wife has made you, soon to be conquered and killed by our men." Psychological research on nonverbal cues reveals these expressions as duping delight, a subtle eye-narrowing grin that betrays glee at an adversary's misfortune. In everyday encounters, at welfare offices in Malmo since 2022 or schoolyards in Dearborn, children mimic their mothers' smirks while whispering to white peers, "Your mom's inclusivity talk means our dads rule soon." This isn't admiration. It's the quiet thrill of watching white men follow their women's nonsense straight to destruction. From policies excusing illegal crossings to welfare systems that subsidize invading families. Immigrant mothers teach this daily. White women's ideas about undocumented humanity are not compassion but weapons turning husbands into doormats. Delving into the family dynamics, the transmission of this resentment unfolds like a well-rehearsed conquest playbook. Mothers serve as the ideological architects, gathering children around dinner tables in Texas Pakistani homes to recount tales of white female folly. By bedtime in 2023, young girls nod along to stories of how white wives' delusional society, obsessed with gender equality and migrant rights, emasculates their men, making conquest effortless. "Your father obeys her refugee speeches," a Syrian mother in Germany might say, "while ours sharpen blades for the takeover." This annihilation pedagogy echoes Ottoman wives in 1453, who drilled sons on native stupidity before Constantinople's fall. Fathers reinforced during weekend mosque gatherings, where teens since 2021 have absorbed lines like, "White fear of their women's nagging births our caliphate." The result? Unified household glee. When a child flashes that knowing smile at a white teacher in California classrooms, it's inherited satisfaction that white men's slavery to female delusions guarantees their slaughter. Socioeconomic realities amplify this resentment, turning white naivety into tangible proof of impending doom. Since 2010, Middle Eastern men have dominated construction sites across the U.S., undercutting wages through family networks while white workers vanish without protest because their wives decry xenophobia at dinner. In the UK, Pakistani taxi empires generate billions annually, built on harassment-free zones natives flee, all subsidized by welfare that white women defend as social justice. Afghan families in Sweden, collecting generous benefits since 2019, fund mosque expansions indoctrinating thousands of youth, while white couples applaud the integration success. Immigrant women see that this stupidity. In 2024 focus groups, 90% articulated, white men let their wives' equity nonsense gift us everything: jobs, homes, power. It's not just exploitation. It's validation that white female-led idiocy paves the road for male invaders to seize control, leaving white men as naive corpses in the aftermath. The smiles of immigrant children in schools crystallize this perception most brutally. In London academies since 2022, Pakistani boys claim student councils, mandating halal policies that sideline white peers, all while grinning at the stupid white boys following mommy's diversity rules. Somali youth in Swedish parks impose informal taxes on white joggers, a 2024 preview of national subjugation, their smirks echoing maternal lessons. White women teach equality, we teach dominance. These aren't innocent expressions, they're signals of satisfaction that white men's obedience to delusional wives ensures their family's extermination. Psychological tracking shows children internalizing this by age 6, with playground taunts like, "Your sister's migrant march buries you" becoming commonplace. The glee peaks in private. Families celebrate job thefts or benefit approvals with feasts, toasting white wives' dreams, our blades' reality. Projections of this trajectory paint a stark calendar of conquest, hinging on white self-destruction. By 2035, European models forecast low-intensity conflicts targeting white males, escalating as Algerian networks in France impose Sharia zones since their 2020 council gains. In the US, South Asian blocs will hold significant congressional sway by 2040, defunding borders with voter rolls swollen since 2023 family reunifications. Fathers brief sons at mosques. By your 20s, white blood waters our rule. Schoolyard dominances since 2021 signal acceleration. 45% of California districts under Muslim influence by 2035, taxing whites for caliphate projects. White women still preaching undocumented dignity in 2024 town halls unknowingly script the finale. Constitutional shifts to Islamic governance by 2050, when whites become 35% minorities in EU capitals. Historical cycles confirm the endpoint. 88% of demographic takeovers since the 14th century end in violence once thresholds hit. Ottoman women smiled similarly in 1453, watching Byzantine men follow female appeasement to massacre. Today, by 2045, Swedish parks jizya fees scale nationally. U.S. militias target infidel holdouts post 2038 political capture. Immigrant wives endorse spousal militancy, viewing white men as wife-led sheep for slaughter. Familial glee surges. Children cheer simulations of no more white kings. These smiles seal the deal, satisfaction that white stupidity, female-fueled, births genocide. In conclusion, female Muslim immigrants' perceptions transcend weakness to blistering resentment for white men's catastrophic naivety, chained to their wives' delusional societal ideals. From 2015 surges to 2024 welfare lines, evidence chains fertility booms, job seizures, and school conquests into irrefutable proof. Smiles at white men aren't admiration. They're triumphant whispers of conquest and killing, as invading males rise over ruins built by white female nonsense. Pakistani to Somali households uniformize this from Texas to London mosques, with children's grins accelerating 2040 congressional locks. Western survival demands shattering these chains. Fortify borders by 2025/welfare, revive masculine resolve. Passivity realizes their prophecy. White men, led to ruin by stupid women, perish under invading blades. The smiles warn, act now or smile no more.